Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday morning from a hopefully very rainy Tennessee today. It's supposed to rain most of the day. I can use it. We're supposed to get decent rain, so I'm hoping to get some pond filling going. Got all my planting done, finally. Okay, 600 and some odd plants put in the ground, plus God knows how much we direct seeded and everything. So probably somewhere to the tune of about 1,000 plants. Yeah, I ain't kidding. Don't play around. And yes, you guys will all notice I got a haircut. It's about freaking time, wasn't it? Okay, so, but no, those aren't the things to talk about this morning. I'm going to give you something that's going to probably piss you off to start a Saturday, but it's something that you need to know. So if we take a look, if we go back to day one of Joe's presidency, okay, January 21st, 2021, the United States was $28.4 trillion in debt, and inflation was at 2.4%. As of today, we are now $31.8 trillion in debt, and inflation is at 4.9%. Remember, Joe's doing a great job bringing inflation down. Just telling you, okay? Bringing it down to 4.9 from 2.4 when he started. That's, in Joe's mind, bringing inflation down. Okay. So we've added $3.4 trillion in debt in Joe's presidency, and basically, as of right now, inflation has doubled. Now, mind you, we're down from the 9% he got us to last summer with all the let's print more money spending crap, but it's where we are. Okay. So now, yesterday, the Democrats came out and said they want $14 trillion in reparations for the black community across the country. Okay. So let's do some math. Well, $3.4 trillion worth of printed money jacked up inflation by 2.5%, where we are now. Okay. Math says another $14 trillion of printed money would raise it another 10%. And I'm not talking about any compounding. I'm just talking about flat math. Okay. Remember, we're at the lowest official rate of inflation since April of 2021. And even then, we haven't been this high since late summer 2008. So yes, even with inflation down so much as Joe likes to take credit for, okay, we still have higher inflation now than we ever had under Trump, under Obama, and under all but 2 months of George Bush, when we were at 5.6 and 5.4 in July and August of 2008. Remember what happened in 2008. Okay. So yes, as much as Joe likes to pat himself on the back, he is responsible for the highest inflation of the century. Just saying. Okay. Now remember, I'm talking about official inflation numbers, which we all know are BS, okay, and not including compounding. So what we're probably talking about is something close to 1,000% inflation, or things costing 10 times what they do now if we implement this $14 trillion and not another 10%. Okay, if we compound it, if we use real inflation numbers, yeah. So just imagine things costing 10 times more than they cost now. And no, your paycheck, your Social Security check is not going up. Okay. So this was all brought about by Cori Bush, a progressive leftist Democrat squad member. So that tells you right there she's a freaking idiot. All right. From Missouri. Okay. Sorry, Missouri, you have some real pieces of work that you've elected. And I understand these are coming out of St. Louis and Kansas City and not the rest of you, but, okay, those of you in KC and St. Louis, get with the program, okay? She's the one that proposed this $14 trillion in reparations, $300,000 for each black person in America. Remember Sheila Jackson Lee back in January, the liberal cowboy hat wearing Democrat from Texas, okay, proposed a national reparations bill back in January and it fell flat on its face. Okay. The other day in Tampa, there was also a man by the name of Tony Daniels, just a regular citizen, okay, who stood up at a city council meeting the other day and said this, and I quote, okay, "We want our reparations, $3 million per person, $3 million per person right here in this city. That's the only thing black people got to care about." His English, not mine. "All this other nonsense you're talking about, we do not care about." Okay, so the only thing that he's saying that the black community cares about is give me free money. Okay. I don't think he speaks for everybody. So I want you to humor me for a minute. If 300% or $300,000 would raise inflation by at least 10%, again, without compounding and talking about official numbers, we'd have to print $14 trillion. Then mathematically, $3 million per person should raise inflation to 100% because we'd have to print 140 trillion. If we go by the actual numbers, now we're talking about raising inflation 10,000%. Everything you would have would cost 100 times as much as it costs now. Okay, go to the store and buy a loaf of bread. Cheap Walmart brand loaf of bread is what, $1.38? Okay. Start talking about 100 times that. It'd be $138 for that loaf of bread, sir. I make $8 an hour. No, I'm sorry. For your 40-hour work week, maybe you can buy 2 loaves of bread. Okay. How many times have we talked about the Weimar Republic, Venezuela, Lebanon, Zimbabwe, hyperinflation? This is it, guys. This is actually being considered to do this, to hyperinflate the U.S. economy to the point where nobody can afford it. What good is $3 million when a loaf of bread costs you $138? Okay, just saying. This is what I want people to understand. We're less than 18 months away from the 2024 elections. Okay. Campaign season has started for sure. Remember, every House member is up for re-election. They get re-elected every 2 years. 1/3 of the Senate is up for re-election. Fortunately, this time there's a whole bunch of Democrats that got to defend their seat, and hopefully they get their ass handed to them. And of course, so is Joe. Okay. If anyone actually believes these politicians are serious about these proposals, then you've proven a point that I've made many times. The average American is too stupid to pick leadership. Okay. All of this, mark my words, is a blatant, desperate attempt to buy votes. Even Tony Daniels admitted, the guy from Tampa, okay, said, remember this, part of his quote, "That's the only thing black people got to care about. They don't care about the southern border. They don't care about crime. They don't care about funding our military. They don't care about getting rid of wokeness. They don't care about getting out of Ukraine. The only thing they got to care about," his words, "is free money." Okay. Let me ask you this. How's that student loan forgiveness promise working for you? Right? Okay. The Democrats promised that, haven't delivered. Okay. But it got them elected. Thanks, millennials. You got snowed. Okay. Personally, I hope the Democrats adopt this as part of their 2024 platform for everybody. They'll dominate the black vote. No question, of course. Okay. No other subset of the American public has been promised so much in their history and had so little delivered. Yet they continue to drink the Kool-Aid. They continue to vote for what they got. Look at all this stuff. Chicago, perfect example. We're a sanctuary city. We're a sanctuary city. Yay, come on in. Okay, here we are. The black communities, get them out of here. Get them out. Wait a minute. You voted for all these people who promised to be a sanctuary city, right? Okay. Why do you keep voting against your own interests? Just ask them. Okay. The reason I hope the Democrats adopt it is because they will lock up 13% of the vote. No question. Okay. That leaves the other 87% of us to elect people with a brain. Okay. Because honestly, I don't see a whole lot of other sectors of, whether it's white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, Arab, whatever, going, you know what? I want to pay this. I mean, what did California come out? For the people in California said to pay the reparations in California, it will cost every person of another race $600,000 per household. Got an extra 600 grand laying around, guys? I don't. Okay. $600,000 more than my net worth. So take everything. I'll go live in the streets. Oh, wait a minute. It's California. That's pretty much expected. Okay. If by some miracle enough people think this is a good idea, you can count on the United States going right back to the early 1900s and segregation. I'm sorry, sir. Your money's no good here. People will just refuse to do it. You screwed me this bad? Sorry. No, not happening. Okay. You'll also see an instant tax revolt, as the 87% would refuse to pay taxes. Okay. And that would stop it in a heartbeat. Many of us have said, I didn't even have any family here in 1860. Okay. My family didn't get here till the 1910s. Slavery was over. I got nothing to do with it. All of you who had family that were here, okay? A lot of you have said to me, I had family that fought and died in the Civil War. Yeah, okay. Where's the reparations for your family who died trying to free people? Okay. Why not go after the people in Africa who were the slave traders? There's an idea. Okay. Joe campaigned in 2020 about he was going to bring this country back together. Remember that? He just managed to continue the hateful policies of the Great Divider, Barack Obama. Personally, I think this is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Right? This will be the thing that leads to one of two things: civil war or balkanization. If this goes through, okay, if this continues to get pushed through, both are on the horizon. Gavin Newsom has backed himself into a corner as promising this for California. The black community all expects it now. And Newsom's like, I don't know how we're going to pay for it. Okay. It was great. It was great political banter to get people all worked up. But when it came time for the rubber to meet the road, he got no way to pay for it. What was Cori Bush asked about this? First question, how are you going to pay for this? We're still working on that. Yeah, because they know that part is impossible. Okay. But yet, that's the only thing black people got to care about. Are you prepared for the ramifications of this? This is more concerning than pretty much anything else we got going. War in Ukraine, I'm more worried about this. War in China, I'm more worried about this. Bringing in illegals across the border, that's pretty much on the same lines. Okay. One will destroy us in wars, Russia, Ukraine. The other two are hell-bent, the southern border and these reparations are hell-bent on destroying the United States completely economically. And that is how you destroy a country without ever firing a shot. Are you prepared for that?